Sancho to Borussia Dortmund, loan move is a done, and it's a here we go pending medical, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, confirmed by Jacobs Ben, confirmed by David Austin, and very many other credible sources. And I'm here to obviously bring you this story live onto your tele, smart TV. That's what I'm meaning. iPad, your phone, and very many other gadgets that you guys are really watching me from. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and I'm here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. Jodan Sancho. Jodan Sancho. Again, he has gone ahead to join the side of Borussia Dortmund, and he is going to spend the remaining time of the season at the side of Borussia Dortmund down there. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, this story was first broken by a guy who deserves credit, and that is none other than Platigol. Platigol was the first person to obviously break the story alongside Christian Falk on how far this deal has gone ahead to go on, and even today he was the guy responsible for this story. I mean, there's very many stories running yesterday that Jodan Sancho is gonna really go to Borussia Dortmund and it's gonna be finalized in a nick of time, and they want to see him really play for Borussia Dortmund over the weekend. I think, is it Friday or Saturday? He has gone ahead and obviously come up with the perfect and concrete story. And it was Platigol, who works for Sky Germany, who broke this story and said Jodan Sancho to Borussia Dortmund is a done deal. I would like to give him credit. He was the first person to break the news. He was the first person to come out and really break the news. After he broke the news, the rest had to tap in, and they were like tappy merchants. That is it. I would like to give credit where it's due. This was the first guy to obviously break the story of Jodan Sancho. And he said Jodan Sancho to Borussia Dortmund is a done and dusted deal. And that's how everything really went on. And then others joined him to obviously confirm, because when you don't hear from Fabrizio Romano, when you don't hear from David Austin, sometimes you feel like there is something missing. You know, if there are spices, there might be a spice missing into your recipe to obviously make a very good meal. And obviously the recipe that was really missing, or the what you can call it, the spice that was missing to obviously accomplish the recipe, came out through and obviously put it up via his social media platforms. And this is what he had to say. Jodan Sancho to Borussia Dortmund, here we go. Deal in place between Man United and Borussia Dortmund on loan, no buy option. Understand Jodan Sancho can travel later today for medical. Borussia Dortmund will cover part of the salary plus a loan fee of 4 million euros. Boarding complete. So, when I read that, I got to know, all right, the litmus test has been really put up to our task, and it has been confirmed positive. Jodan Sancho is no longer a player of Man United until the end of the season. So, when you look at this, here we go, coming in from Fabrizio Romano, it's a loan with no buy option. That is it, because Man United really hope for better money coming in through from anyone who wants to obviously go on and really purchase Jodan Sancho. That is it. They really look at Jodan Sancho as a person that can obviously get them more and more and more money, especially as far as it's concerned. Remember, these loans with buy options are really very tricky. You know, you cannot obviously gauge the whole sum of the matter and the whole sum of the price that you want from a player. Like, for example, Timo Werner, loan with the monetary option to buy to Tottenham Hotspur has been completed, and it has 17 million euros. Sorry about that. It's a 17 million euro package, which is very ashamed to me that Timo Werner, who was bought from RB Leipzig for close to 50 million pounds, you know, to Chelsea, and then they bought him back for, like, I think, was it 20 something. He's now going to Spurs, if at all the deal is confirmed permanent in the summer, for only 17 million euros. To me, it's really a downgrade, and I really feel that it cannot really work out that way. For me, if at all, I'm really a side of this I'm really a side of what's the side? It's known as the side is known as RB Leipzig that is selling this guy to Tottenham Hotspur. To me, it's really little, but it shows you that they had no plan for the player and they never saw any progress of Timo Werner at RB Leipzig, and they had to sell him to the side of Tottenham Hotspur if at all the deal goes complete. So, United wants to get money if at all Jodan Sancho is for sale in the summer. And we are all keeping our hands crossed that he obviously hits the ground running. And obviously, he's going to hit the ground running because he's going to be the star of the team. And if at all you want Jodan Sancho to get you the best out of himself, let him be the main man in your team. When you give him that, he'll obviously get you lots of things that are really better and better and better from those that you're going to hate to see him really show up on the field of play at Man United. Then on the side of Jodan Sancho, he couldn't really accept that option to buy because he knows that something might turn around. You know, what heals is time. And you never know which decision is going to be taken when the summer really commences and the season really comes to an end. Sancho has always wanted not to leave Man United. He knows that it's the biggest club in England. He would love to start Man United. Having gone ahead, obviously, break up with Erik ten Hag, he really has thoughts that Erik ten Hag is going to be sacked. And we had sources from November that Jodan Sancho believes Erik ten Hag will be sacked before Christmas and he won't be leaving the club of Man United, meaning that he had that as an option. And when this really failed, what Jodan Sancho did was, let me go to Borussia Dortmund, play my game, go to the Euros. After the Euros, I'll return to the club of Man United. Maybe Erik ten Hag will not be the manager of Man United, something that you cannot rule out because any manager can be sacked. You know, any manager can be sacked. I think in history, it's only Sir Alex Ferguson that had not gotten sacked at a club like Man United because he was there for close to 27 years. He came in 1986 and he left in 2013. That is Alex Ferguson for you. So, Manchester United, as a club, should learn lessons from doing deals like those of Jodan Sancho, because if you don't know the mentality of the player, then why do you go ahead and obviously sign him? You know, there were very many players, but we are just obsessed. And there is one thing that we hinted on in 2020, those who are on this channel, when we are signing Jodan Sancho. And the big question was, how is it that we are spending £73 million on a player that no club is willing to cash in for? You get? That was the big question, that everyone was not really paying a lot of attention to detail, that we are paying a lot of money, £73 million, for a player that no team is showing interest in. Why is it that big teams were not obviously involved in such a deal? You know, those are things that we should address here onto this channel and obviously ask ourselves, who was responsible for that deal and what are the answers he's really getting us? Because that year when Sancho came in through, we had people like Donny van Beek that we assigned the previous time. You know, we had people like those signed in the previous window: Pelestri, Amad Diallo, Cavani, Alex Telles, Donny van de Beek. Out of all those players, it's only Ahmad and Pelestri that are still at the club of Man United. Donny van de Beek got himself loaned to the side of Frankfurt, meaning that things have failed to work out for him at the club of Man United. Now, Cavani left. Alex Telles was sold. It shows you that the recruitment of Man United is worse. You know, two players, Donny van de Beek and Jodan Sancho, cost us a total of £100 million. Wouldn't we get better players than those who have really good mentality? I think those players were there, but our scouting system was so much hinged onto getting in an English player. And that's what United is all about. We are obsessed with English players, and those English players have not gone ahead to meet the right levels of talent. And these are things we're supposed to accept. Look at players like Mason Greenwood. they're a different breed of players altogether. And you might not agree with me, but these players are really good. And look at Kobe Menu. Super talented. Super talented. And if anyone goes ahead to disagree with me, facts are written all over the world that these players are English, but their talent is out of this world. It's one of the things that you might hate to say, but you have to say it. You get? You might hate to say it, but that's the fact. You know? Sometimes facts are bitter, but you have to say them out because the world knows it, and this guy is really one of a kind. So, if you're talking about a guy who has gone ahead to be recruiting for Man United, John Mata, this is the time he deserves to get a sack under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He deserves to be sacked because he's not doing his job. All the players that's gone ahead to get in have gone ahead to obviously not get what we call a resale value, even though they're in their mid 20s. They've gone ahead to lose value, and the price fluctuation is really huge. Look at Donny van de Beek, 40 million euro deal, and you're going to only get back like 14 million euros. That's a loss of 26 million euros. And we keep this guy on the job. This guy should leave. John Mata should leave, and United should get in 2 competent people to do that job for him because he has gone ahead to obviously make very bad signings. You cannot be having such a checkbook and not really getting quality players. Sancho himself, to me, he's a player that is inconsistent. And at a club of Man United, you need to be having what we call consistent players. If you don't have consistent players, you cannot compete. You cannot compete. A player comes in through play some 2-3 good games and takes some 4 when he's totally off. That is out. That is out. And we have to call out such stuff at the club of Manchester United. So we shouldn't really settle for less as a club of Man United because we deserve better. Then we got a story coming in through from David Austin that Jodan Sancho expected to travel today ahead of joining Borussia Dortmund from Man United on straight loan for the rest of the season. Anticipation is 23-year-old winger to undergo medical plus sign Borussia Dortmund deal within 48 hours. Package worth minimum 3.5 million euros to Man United. Now, I read a story 3-4 days back before this deal really came to pass that United felt bad that they had gone ahead to disclose the fee of 3.5 million euros involved into this deal. Fabrizio is talking about 4, others are talking about 3.5. But what does that show? How do we sign these players? How could a team like Atletico Madrid get 10 million euros, for signing or for letting João Felix go to Chelsea on a loan and not really see a team like Manchester United get at least £6 million from a loan of Jodan Sancho to Borussia Dortmund? How is that possible? How is that possible? You ask yourself certain questions and you fail to get answers because that is impossible. Very, very impossible. And you cannot obviously come out and really even say it in broad daylight because it's a shame. And that's why United never wanted that to obviously be broadcasted through the media. But that's all about poor recruitment that we make. Sancho's behavior was not looked at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, John Mata, and Matt Judge by then. So why are we keeping these people here? John Mata should be on the next plane out of Manchester back to Merseyside where he was at Everton. He has shown us that his incompetency has gone ahead to affect the club of Man United for a long, long time. And we should really show him exactly what he deserves. You at Man United, failure is not an option at the club of Man United. If you're going to hate obviously fail, then you deserve to really be sacked from your job. So then Jacobs Ben came out and really said the following: Sancho is finalizing his loan to Borussia Dortmund from Manchester United after the clubs reached an agreement. There is no option to buy. As revealed, the total package is worth over £3 million. Number raises with clauses. Dortmund pay more if they qualify for the UEFA Champions League. So the initial deposit has been £3 million for Jodan Sancho to cross from Man United to Borussia Dortmund on a loan. As I told you yesterday, there are clauses that are going to have to be included into this loan transfer that if at all they are met, then United will get in more money. I went ahead to obviously say a lot about these clauses yesterday. If at all you never watched this video, I think allow me take some time and obviously educate you, all bring up to speed about the clauses I talked about. The first clause was about him playing a certain number of games. I know that has been included. If he plays like 90 or 80% of the games, there is a fee that United will get. If he goes ahead to really score a certain number of goals and put in assists, there is a certain amount of money that United will get. If they qualify for the Champions League, because right now they are fifth, United will get in more money. If they knock out PSV on the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League tie, they'll get in more money. So money is up there to be spent and exchange hands if at all this guy performs well at Borussia Dortmund. That is it. And it's all about him. And we know that at Borussia Dortmund, he's seen as a king. And in the Sudoku, what's the stadium? Their stadium that capacity is close to 80,000 fans will be eagerly screaming his name when they are playing this week at Borussia Dortmund. So, United as a side should learn from such things, because £73 million spent and you don't really see this player really producing lots of results, there should be very many question marks. We paid £53 million for Fred. We paid £96 million for Paul Ebile Pogba. You get? And I think the only signing I've gone ahead to see produce results on huge money is Bruno Fernandes. That is it. Because I think all the clauses that took his deal to 65 million euros have been really ticked. That is it, because I was going to have to come through and really tick all boxes for the club of Man United. That is Bruno Fernandes for you. But the rest of the signings have been really bad. And it's under Erik ten Hag that you've seen signings that are really having the right mentality to play for the club. Lisandro Martinez, Eriksson, Tyrell Malacia, Casemiro. Look at Rasmus Højlund. Look at Andre Onana. Such signings. Amrabat, you see that puts his body on the line. So we should really improve onto this, and United should be doing better as a club on Jodan Sancho. Now, where does this leave Man United? We are left with only Pelestri, who might leave on loan, Amad Diallo and Anthony as players who can play on the right, and they can take us through the season. I believe they can. Joffrey Nayevare, good afternoon Aradi, good afternoon Joffrey. Then Opara Francis, hello, greetings, happy new year bro, thank you for the update, live from Makerere University Kampala. Alright, thank you very much for watching through, and it's always nice having you to this channel, and keep it this channel because it's always nice having you here. So Sancho leaves and he has a lot to do. One, he wants to go to the Euros with the English national team. That's a very, very huge factor for him, and he's pushing for that. Then, the other guy who has to really level up is Anthony. With the manager trusting him a lot ahead of any right attacking midfielder at the club of Manchester United, he should obviously come back from injury and show us that I'm really ready. I have to say, that Anthony, before he got an injury, I think the worst game he had was against Nottingham. But the game against Liverpool, he was good. Chelsea was good. Galatasaray was good. Bayern Munich was good. He had a couple of games that he looked good ever since he returned from injury. So I understand everything he's really doing for the club of Man United, and there are signs that he can become a better player. That is it. But the fact is, he's so much in the limelight because of the amount of money he was bought, and you cannot blame him for that because he really had an injury, and United couldn't spend £50 million to obviously sign him in July because he was an injury. And if you sign an injury-prone player, then how do you obviously go on and really conduct the medical? You know, you saw it affecting us on Amrabat. You saw it affecting us onto Rasmus Højlund. So we cannot be doing certain things at the same level, you know, and that same frequency. Yet teams like Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, and Man City are doing these things at a different wavelength from ours. So Sancho is out to Borussia Dortmund, and hope you guys are really happy. Let him go, and let's see how things really stabilize. Then Ndaula Deo Gracias. By the way, I've never seen Sancho play for Man United badge. For me, I've seen him in certain games. There are certain games that are going to have to put in the energy, and he sort of ate that ever since Erik ten Hag took him to Netherlands and returned in the February of last year. He had a lot of intensity on the pitch. He could run. You know, he used to do a lot as a player. Even in the preseason, he sort of ate that Sancho was running. You know, but come to the season, he never went ahead to obviously do certain things right, and it really went ahead to cost him a career. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I had to obviously come in through and really do this live session, and I would love to let you know that on a daily we are going to be live around this time. Thank you, Geoffrey, for watching through. Opara Francis and Ndaula Deo Gracias. It's nice always having you on this channel, Ndaula Deo Gracias. But when you look at Anthony, however, much things have not moved smoothly for him. He's ever trying. Yeah, Anthony is ever trying. He tracks back. You know what? The reason as to why people are not really giving Anthony credit is that ever since he returned back from the problems that he had, he had with the girlfriend. You remember that game of Galatasaray that we played away and it ended 3-3? You remember his input? He played really well. Ever since then has been playing well. But most of the assists that would have gone ahead to get have not gone ahead to turn out into goals. Remember the game of West Ham? Those two balls he fed to Garnacho, and Garnacho failed to obviously kill them off. You understand? So I think you see him putting the energy, running, tracking back, you know. But I think it's just a matter of time for him to obviously get to where we deserve him to be, and he will take us miles. So thank you very much for watching through, everyone. I sign out for now. See you later. I hope you guys are really having fun. And this is the United Matters channel. Rokan David is my name, and we are always here to obviously bring you news that you guys deserve, and we will never really forsake you because you are number one fans. And we are obviously going to be bringing you the latest concerning the transfers of Man United. Sancho has left. Remember, he has gone ahead to join Donny van de Beek, was the first player to leave on loan, and now Sancho has gone ahead to move on. After Sancho has gone ahead to move on, who else is moving on? And we are having Joe Hegel joining Barton Albion. He's also leaving. So very many players are really taking everything to where they deserve to be. And Jodan Sancho has gone ahead to obviously share he has gone ahead to share Fabrizio Romano's post. Let me try to find it and I'll show you what exactly he's gone ahead to post. He has gone ahead to share it on his X account that went ahead to obviously cause a lot of trouble in between him and Erik ten Hag, you know. So it is really one of those things that you really need to understand. And this is what Sancho has gone ahead to post on his X account. That is it. That is Jodan Sancho for you. He has gone ahead to approve it. He has gone ahead to share it, meaning that it's a done and dusted deal. That's why Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to obviously have that bubble of exclusivity in him than any other person. Guys, bye-bye. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. The Christians, I cover you all.